hadn't been that tough, has it? All right. Amen. At this time, once again, I'd like to say good evening to everyone, and I pray that you've had a blessed day, a blessed week thus far. At this time, I would ask everyone, I'd like to remind everyone to please put your phone on silence or turn them off. And at this time, I would ask the commissioners if they would look at the agenda to see if there's anything unethical or immoral on the agenda. At this time, I now call this meeting to the Bethel Board of Commissioners to order. The time is 6:02. The date is Tuesday, the 2nd of June, 2026. At this time, I have a roll call. Commissioner Conger.
Here.
Commissioner Lilly.
Here.
Mayor Pro Temp Griggs.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
And also Commissioner Whitehurst. He will not be with us on this evening. At this time, he's in the hospital. Okay, we do have a quorum. At this time, we're going to ask Commissioner Mayor Pro Temp Griggs if she will do our invocation.
Let's bow our heads. Father, in the name of Jesus, we want to thank you for being here on a day that we've never seen before. We want to say thank you for how you've allowed us to come together as one again in accordance to what we don't want to happen in our town. We pray that this meeting will go as expected, and that's all positive. We thank you, Lord, that you brought us here to bring forth new ideas and whatever, but we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And we're going to ask Commissioner Conger if she will lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. And we're going to ask all those that can and will stand with us.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, do I have a motion to approve the proposed agenda?
Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Lilly. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mayor, we've got two items to add to the agenda. One is a change order on the back room renovation on Town Hall, and also to consider a proposal for a strategic economic development plan for the town at no cost by the Department of Commerce. So if we could add those two things.
Add that.
Okay. Did y'all get that?
Change order in the back room and then the strategic plan by the Department of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, we do have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lilly. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Commissioner Griggs. Or is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor by raising your right hand? Okay, motion carried. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our regular monthly meeting of May the 5th, 2026?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Lilly. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Conger. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor by raising your right hand? Motion carried. Also, can I have a motion for the approval of the minutes from our special call meeting on May the 12th, 2026?
So moved.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Temp Griggs. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lilly. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor by raising your right hand? Okay, motion carried unanimous. At this time, we'll now move to our public comments, and our public comments provides an opportunity for residents to comment on any item included on the agenda or to address the town board on any matter related to the town of Bethel. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Okay, first on the public comments, we have Mr. James Carr. Is he present? Mr. James Carr. Okay, Mr. James Carr not present. We'll move to our second personnel of a public comment, Mr. Cricket Morning. And at this time, as you're coming, when you get to the podium, would you state your name and address?
Good evening, good afternoon, Mayor,
Good afternoon.
Commissioners, town. Cricket Morning, my real name's Alexis Morning, but most everybody knows me by Cricket. I'm part of a small group of people that are currently live in Bethel and formerly lived in Bethel. For the past 3 years, we've thrown an event over at the Smith Street Park called the Bethel Reunion, that we try to donate money to the Bethel Youth Activity Center. With school coming up in, August 26th, we decided to try to throw a car show, and motorcycle show, over at the youth center along with the convention center and here on Railroad Street. No cost to the town. We have people that's gonna block the tickets off, so we'll take care of all the responsibility, the cost, the legal way. But we would like to invite everybody to come. Donations is a total cash donation or check or cash out, but every bit of the money we raise will be donated to the youth center. And obviously, everybody that lives here knows how important that is to the community and to the kids. So we appreciate the opportunity to just invite everybody here and hope you could come out August 22nd from 9 to 3. Again, it's going to be food trucks over at the Rook Insurance Insurance Company. We're going to have food trucks all lined up, so you have plenty of food to get, drinks, everything. So come on out. Any questions? I'm open for questions again. Tanika Morning, she's actually going to be at the youth center from 11 to 1 or until. She has an organization also called Divine Dreams that is going to be giving away 100 field book bags to any kid that comes up, obviously school-age kids. And I'm not sure, but maybe the youth center may be doing open registration, but I'll let, Dr. Moore speak on that. So, yeah.
Okay, any question on the board for Mr. Morning? If no question, thank you. We look to see you in August.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys August 22nd.
All right. Mr. Brown, do you want to speak to the public? Yes. Yes, sir. Did you?
Would you like to?
Did
Did you want to do public addresses to the board?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's fine.
All right,
Well, college stuff's coming in August, that's it.
all right.
Fireworks, my apologies.
We-
Come to the
We'll
podium, please.
we'll announce it, but go ahead.
He's right here.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Bethel. July 2nd, we'll have our third annual in partnership with a great leadership team up here at the fireworks. We'll have the slide for the kids, tons of food trucks. It'll start at 6 o'clock. Food trucks will be set up and taking off at 9 o'clock. And it's the probably have a big traffic jam at the end with Bethel. So it's a good event, been great turnout. It's on, I think it's on social media by now and all that good stuff. So just come out and enjoy yourself and look for a great time for everybody getting together.
And just for the record, Mr. Brown, if you would state your whole name.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Jerome Brown, one of the owners of United Provider Health, and with my partner, Carolyn Mayo, and we appreciate everything and the support of the leadership team here.
All right, any question for Mr. Brown?
I do, I got one. Last
No,
year,
I'm not answering.
last year, I've got questioned a lot about the area that we have it over there and having everything across the street. Why didn't we just move everything over there so people wouldn't have to be going across the street and back and forth so the ones that's over here can see the fireworks better? So I said I told them I'd bring it up to you and see what you thought.
The Dollar General parking lot is their parking lot, and we don't have access to it to do all of that. They got business going on till 8 o'clock, is it? 7 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock, yeah. So we don't want to interrupt their business, but working with the gentleman who owns that place and Dr. Moore, it makes it easy. I know it's a little challenging going across the street, but we have the great officers
if we need to put something in place to help us with that traffic as well. Okay. But that's the reason why we do it. It's open, it's very, and it's easy to place the vendors around the circular part of that parking lot and access and things like that. And then we have some lights too. Lights up a little bit, but that's the reason why we do it there.
Okay.
Okay? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you come late to a meeting.
Yes, Ms. Brown, we got one question about vendors.
Could you let us know if you're still taking vendors and the information on how they contact you for vendors?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So they can email at info at upoh.org. I'm sorry. I got so many comments in mind. Info, I-N-F-O, at upoh.org. They can do it that way. Or they can just, I'll give my public cell number, 919-889-8214. And Ms. Linda, I'll email you all the information again so you can put it out on the website. Okay? But my cell is 919-889-8214. Text me, it's not a problem. And I'll respond back to you. And I can text you the flyball if you need it. Okay? Thank you, Ms. Linda. I'll email you tomorrow morning with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll pause there, and we'll now go into our public hearing. Do I have a motion to come out of regular session and go into our,
Mayor, we just need to hear the presentation on the budget, then open the public hearing for public comments.
okay, that's good.
So we're going to show the PowerPoint behind us on the wall here. Board members, you got a copy of this in your original binder from our workshop on May the 12th. And we did this pretty much in detail on May the 12th. I'm going to try to go through this in a highlighted fashion and form. It's almost identical to the workshop. Actually, it is identical. So the first slide, we can forward, talks about the theme of a balanced budget. Obviously, we want a balanced budget. We want our revenues meeting our expenditures. We like to make sure that the needs and expectations of the community are balanced with the revenues that are necessary to carry those out, and that if we use fund balance, we're only using it for capital projects and only with available monies in the fund balance. Next slide, the objectives. We want funding in accordance with needs and priorities, meeting the town and department needs, respecting our budget drivers, creating a balanced budget, and then again, fund balance use for only capital projects versus ongoing costs like employee salaries and whatnot. The methodology slide, we project revenues in accordance with historical data, trends, and current market data, allow expenditures that are sufficiently justified with consideration given to prior spending history, determine the lowest cost to efficiently and effectively operate the town to achieve its mission, and lastly, determine the lowest tax rate necessary to generate the revenue to cover that cost. On the next slide, our drivers in this budget for July 1, going from July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. We are looking at additional revenue on the fire side to operate the town rural fire department by an increase of the rural fire tax rate. This fire tax rate has nothing to do with the town of Bethel. It's outside of the town of Bethel, but it is proposed to go from 6 3/4 cents to 9 cents. And Lord willing, that will be adopted tonight by the Pitt County Board of Commissioners via their similar process with their budget hearing and hopefully budget adoption. Neutral matters, our sales tax revenue is basically neutral. Investment earnings from the North Carolina Cash Management Trust. And then I put down the fire services study. That's really kind of an unknown right now as to how that'll affect the town. I guess actually for next year, 26, 27, probably little effect, but probably thereafter, we may see some changes, hopefully to the town's benefit. Negative considerations, inflation, obviously affecting all of us, and then the limited tax base growth as we have here in the town. But I will say that the town is growing incrementally. We have the 4 houses on, what's that street? Jefferson. They're clearing the lots, cutting the trees down. We've had the 6 or 7 houses built on Moore Street. We have the county's 3 houses put up with the ARPA monies, American Rescue Plan Act. We have the 4 additional new houses coming up using the CDBG ENR dollars. So our tax base is incrementally, we're adding houses, we're tearing some down too. Some of the houses we're going to have demolished through condemnation, but we're we're growing our tax base. Next slide, budget highlights. The budget is balanced. The tax rate holds the same at 45 cents per $100 of valuation, has a 3% for town employees. 1 penny on our tax rate brings in $10,215. Our employee head count stays the same. We have four full-time employees and 2 part-time. On the next slide, the valuation, basically what this is telling us what the value of all the property within the town limits is. In the current year, it's about 116 million. That'll increase to a little over 119 million. It's about a $2.7 million increase, which is about 2%. It's lagging behind the increase the overall county is receiving, but I think we'll continue to see this increase, maybe even greater next year to get these houses up and get the additional dwellings on the tax rolls. A revenue review on the next slide. Just on the process, we look back at prior years, historical trends, market factors and influence, talk to experts on the matter, whether it's the league of municipalities, and then we look at projecting future revenue. So the next slide basically shows all of our revenue sources on this table. So the overall general fund budget at the very bottom is $2,082,350. Our largest revenue source is $510,000, and that's local property tax revenue. And we do not bring in $510,000 of sales tax in the Bethel. The way the tax is distributed in Pitt County, it's a method in which it benefits the municipalities greatly. We share in the tax revenue growth of the overall county. The second highest, largest areas are property taxes, $461,000. Then there's a variety of other areas that the money splits out. On the next slide, gives you a pie chart, basically is illustrating what I just described in each area. The green is, they're about between 1 and 4 o'clock on the pie chart is the sales tax. Your fund balance on the orange up there between probably what, 9 and 11. That's fund balance we're appropriating for the purchase of a fire truck. On the next slide, we then talk about expenditures. Again, you have all the expenditures coming down, totaling $2,082,350. And within that, we've got the fire truck purchase at $525,092. Of that, we will be utilizing town fund balance or town savings of $375,092. We'll be going out for a bank loan of $125,000, and then we'll be receiving $25,000 from Pitt County through the Emergency Management Department toward the purchase of the truck. Next slide is a pie chart, again illustrating those expenditures within the balanced budget. Next page is personnel benefit changes, again the COLA for the employees, the local employees government retirement system, mandated retirement contribution at 15.10%. Next slide is a capital improvement plan, which I don't think we've ever had this in the town of Bethel. So this is a first. So on the next page is your stormwater numbers that Rivers and Associates put together from conducting the stormwater AIA asset inventory assessment, where they identified about $3.9 million worth of stormwater work that needs to be conducted within the town over the next 10 years. And the table there shows on the very bottom in the green, might be kind of hard to read, but shows a number of funding sources, everything from bonds, bank loan, current funding, fund balance, Golden Leaf, state bonds, stormwater utility fee, which is something we're looking at right now that's being studied that will be coming forth later on. Next page is the next part of the CIP, the Capital Improvement Plan, dealing with street paving. We basically have had 3 phases of street paving. You had the poor roads as determined by NCDOT through their survey back in 2024, October 24. Those roads were taken care of and repaved. The next category is this fair condition of roads. It's about $1.3 million worth of roads. The roads are listed on the left there. At this point in time, we don't have any identified dollars to pay for the street paving, other than some money we get from the state called PAL bill funds. That's $60,000 a year. We've got 60 from the current year, 60 next year, so we have $120,000. But as I've told the board and told the mayor, we'll probably be needing to use that for stormwater work related to streets. Like where you see these cones in the street, where you see the orange fencing within the right-of-way. We've got some work there that needs to be done that more likely will use those dollars. So we will need to identify some manner or way to, and these streets are, you know, they're not terrible condition. They're just rated fair. On the last sheet of the CIP are streets that were considered in good condition by DOT. Again, this totals about 1.3 million as well. Between the two, the fair condition and good condition is about $2.6 million. The difference from your workshop, I had identified monies in each of the 10 years going out, decided that if they're in good condition, we don't really need to consider paving good condition roads. Down the line, we probably will, so I put that as future years. On the next page are benefit calculation rates for town employees. Again, the retirement for the mandated by the state for the retirement system, the continuation of the 401k program for employees at 5%, life insurance, hospitalization, which is going down a little bit, and then the dental insurance. Next page, ongoing grant funding types. We have our SCIF grant. We've got about $153,000 left in the SCIF account. We started out at $500,000. SCIF is a state capital infrastructure fund. We've done the renovation of the library, which a great asset, interior, and even the work that the library director is doing on the outside with landscaping now. The town hall, this interior area here was done with SCIF funds. The last project we're doing is a back room, about a 500 square foot room in the back. We're creating as a area for the Pitt County Sheriff's Office to be able to stop in. There'll be a handicap bathroom back there that will be able to be used for town hall and meetings such as this if somebody needs a restroom in handicap capacity. Also be a small kitchenette back there that we can use. Right now we have no kitchen. We don't have a kitchen sink. We have a bathroom sink for men and women, but we basically bring our lunch and then we carry our dirty dishes home, and so it'll benefit the staff as well. Another ongoing funding is the CDBG NR grant, which I mentioned, $950,000. That'll replace 4 houses, tearing 4 houses down, rebuilding 4 new houses in their place. And then the last one is the PARTIF, the possibility that we might apply for another PARTIF grant. That's a Parks and Recreation Trust Fund grant, possibly for an amphitheater at Smith Street Park. We really need to find a partner, somebody that would help us pay dollar for dollar. It's basically it's 50-50 or dollar for dollar match in applying for those funds. So we're trying to identify that as we speak. Next page are ongoing projects, stormwater related. We have the selection of the design alternative for Project 1, Phase 1, Ditch Line 3. That's now been selected. You selected alternative number 4. You have a contract on the agenda tonight with Rivers for the engineering portion of that work. Rivers is also, like I mentioned earlier, carrying out the stormwater utility rate study, which will help us to pay for stormwater related improvements. Smith Street Park, we're looking at the completion of the first phase. Picnic shelters are up. The walking of the paving of the walking path will begin Monday, June the 8th, and will be done hopefully the end of that week or the first of the following week. Be an 8-foot paved path, and I think to make a dramatic difference. I mean, the playground equipment is in place. The exercise equipment will go in after the walking path is paved, trash cans, and picnic tables and such. So looking forward to completing the first phase of that project. And with that, That's all I have. Mayor, I would suggest, unless there's questions for the board, to open up the public hearing and see if there's any public input regarding the budget. The board has the option to adopt this tonight if you so choose.
Are there any? Any question by the board for our manager in reference? If there's no question by the board, at this time, I'll open up to the public.
Open the public hearing.
The public hearing is now open. Any question, comments?
Anybody can come forward to the podium if you'd like.
Come to the board and state your name.
Trisha Worka. Hi, friends. I wrote my question down so that way I wouldn't forget. Okay, so I think it was in that little first bit at the beginning when you were talking about numbers, but the contingency number was about 45,000, and I was wondering how that changed from like last year and like what the average for a town this size is like to be like a good cushion if you know off the top of your head.
So your contingency can only be 5% of your overall budget. So 5% of 2 million. Somebody help me. Somebody get the numbers. We're below that number. Last year, or in the current year, the contingency is $25,000. We've got about 12,500 left as we speak right now. I think it's maybe 48,000 is what is being proposed for next year. We were just able to add more money to the contingency. Contingency is there for unexpected expenses that come up during the year
I'm just in the fire at the station a lot.
that we can tap and appropriate to a specific purpose. You try not to use it, but it's there for an emergency if you need to. Then if you have to go deeper, then you go into fund balance.
Cool. That was my question. Just make sure, because I remember how stuff kept popping up, and make sure our town's taken care of when stuff pops up. So love to see that our town's taken care of.
The change order we're going to talk later about tonight is something that popped up that we're going to talk about using contingency for.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other question from the public? Okay, at this time, we'll now,
Close the public
the public hearing is now closed. All right. Now you get a motion. Okay, at this time, can I have a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2026-27 budget, along with the capital improvement plan, CIP, and the fee schedule effective July 1, 2026? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Conger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. All in favor, by raising your right hand? Okay. Motion hold them up again.
Call for those opposed.
Okay. Any opposed? We got 3, 4, and 1 opposed. Okay. Motion carried. Next claim our attention will be, we're gonna pause there, and we're gonna have, presentations coming from, first up is from the Bethel Library, the manager, Miss Erin Reese.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, friends. Good
First,
evening.
state your name, please.
Yes, my name is Erin Reese. I am the library branch manager of the Margaret Little Blunt Memorial Library in Bethel. This gem of a library has been a branch of the Shepherd Memorial Library in Greenville since 1991. Since this is my first time speaking at the town hall meeting, I wanted to begin by thanking the town council for allowing me to speak, to do so, and to the community for their tremendous support. Many of you know that the library underwent several renovations last January, including new paint, new carpet, remodeled bathrooms, new front steps, new wheelchair ramp. But through the spring, summer, and fall, improvements kept coming. Gladiolas were planted under the library sign. Tulips were planted by the Girl Scouts in front of the handicap parking space. Facebook and Instagram accounts were created to help with advertising. Vinyl lettering was installed on the walls so patrons would know where to find their books. The children's area became a place where families wanted to bring their kids to play and stay for hours, thanks to the addition of soft carpet, toys, puzzles, a play kitchen, a life-size cardboard cutout of Cat in the Hat. A children's computer catalog was installed for locating books. A PBS Kids Roodle Discovery Corner was donated, giving kids age 18 months to 12 years old educational game opportunities they did not have before. A program area was prioritized. Sorry, I get a little shaky with public speaking. It's not like story time. A program area was prioritized so that the magic of story time, arts and crafts, Lego Club, and the increasingly popular community coffee hour can have a home. And the public access computers were moved from the adult side of the library, moved to the adult side of the library where they belong, and a teen section was created so that teens know that they belong in the library too. Books on CD were added to our collection. Yes, some people still use CDs, and we have over 300 now. And families have been very happy to know that we now have video games available for free 3-week checkouts. Most recently, a beautification project was completed in front of the library to the right of the steps. It's okay. That's okay, Barbara. Fresh soil, mulch, and a multitude of hostas, astilbe ferns, hellebore, and impatiens were lovingly placed. I wanted to just share that little bit of growth about the library. All of these renovations, enhancements, creation of new programs, and pure effort over the last year have not gone unnoticed. I took the liberty of piecing together some statistics from the last 4 months compared to those same months in 2025. And the table on the handout that I've given to the board here shows that more people signed up for library cards and used the computers and Wi-Fi than a year ago, these last 4 months compared to those 4 months last year. It also shows that there are many more programs offered each month than a year ago. It was about either 0 or 1 a month, and now we have 6 to 9 a month. And because of this, more people are coming to Bethel to use the library. The most impressive of the statistics to me is the patron count. Whenever someone comes through the library door, Miss Barbara and I, we have to write it down. We have tally marks, and we count it up at the end of each day and at the end of each month and turn in the statistics. Since the people in the audience can't see the table I'm referring to, I will read these numbers aloud. In February last year, 71 people came through the library door. In February this year, the number jumped to 331. Yes. In March last year, the number was 96. This year, it was 393. In April last year, 124 people visited, not bad. But this April, we more than doubled that and welcomed 348 people. And last May, just counted the numbers today actually, 112 people came last May, but it was 339 last month. These numbers make Barbara, my coworker, and I very happy. We find that the library has become a social hub for the Bethel community and a place where we hope everyone can feel welcome. One thing that we've noticed, am I okay on time? Look. One thing that we've noticed over the past year is that when someone moves to Bethel or the nearby area, which they're doing a lot now, They come to check out the library. They want to know what the new library for them is going to be about. And these new residents ask us for information on local places to eat and to visit and to utilize, which church to go to, things like that. And we are happy to help. One day Barbara said, "You know, Aaron," she didn't know I was going to say this, "with all of these new people moving in around here, wouldn't it be nice if we had something like a welcome bag?" And I think she's right. We would like to offer to the local businesses and organizations the idea of a collaboration with the library. Let's create a welcome bag with your flyers, coupons, small gifts that represent what a new resident can find in and around Bethel, and they could pick up at the library. And of course, it would have a library calendar in it. We simply ask that you all help us spread the word, and if it's an idea that you want to be a part of, let us know. With the tremendous growth of the library has come to enjoy, it also comes great storage problems. Our solution, an attractive storage shed located behind the library. Tonight, I would like to propose that the town of Bethel and the Shepherd Memorial Library go in together to purchase a white wooden utility shed, non-electric. Storage wasn't an issue for the library in the past because they weren't offering regular programming. And now that we enjoy 6 to 9 programs monthly, we have quickly run out of room for storing items that we will use every year. Things for the Bootacular Story Hour, things for the tea party, which was fantastic last Saturday. 12 little girls and 8 grown-ups came for a tea party. It was really fun. And we're going to do it every year in May in honor of Mother's Day month. We also have seasonal and holiday decorations to store, and we do story times and other programs and events outside near the gazebo, which has been wonderful to utilize. And moving tables and chairs from inside of the library out to the gazebo, it is not safe, it's not efficient. Barbara and I are the only work employees of the library at this time. I'm not going to ask Barbara to take tables down those steps or any volunteers because I just don't think that would be wise. They might get hurt. I might get hurt. Let's be truthful here. I'm almost 50, guys. Now, so decorations, programs needs, tables and chairs, and also I would love a place to store our gardening supplies. Now that we have flowers and, hostas to take care of, I would like a place to store the mulch and the soil. So having said all of this, I would like to propose that the town help the library pay for half of it. And that number for the total cost is $3,156.50. That was the estimate that I got from East Carolina Outdoor Products of Greenville, and they would install it themselves. And the town's portion of that would be $1,578.25.
So for the board's information, I included that $1,500 in the library budget, so you do have that budgeted for this purpose, if you so choose.
That's good news. Fantastic. Well, I believe that concludes what I wanted to speak about tonight. Are there any questions?
Question from the board? Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you.
Okay. Next up, from the Pitt County Emergency Management, Mr. Randy Genty.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for asking me to come. Manager Elliott. I'm gonna start off with a question. Do you have a plan? Today is day 2 of hurricane season, and there's about 181 days left in that. So now's the time to plan with the blue sky out, is think about what you will do for you and your family, because if you can't already have that taken care of, you can't help others if you're worried about what you're doing at home. So now's the time to devise a plan. Think about what you would do if a storm came or anything else for that matter that would disrupt your daily life at your home, whether it be loss of power, loss of water, or other utilities in your area, think about what you would do for yourself. You can't always wait for someone else to come help you. Now, that's what our office does. We formulate plans all the time in emergency management. But every time I speak to every news organization, because they call just like we've never talked about it before, and want to know what's the plan. And my question back is, what is your plan? It's surprising how many people don't formulate their own plan. We're glad to help, glad to assist in that. Pitt County Emergency Management number is 252-902-3950. We will be glad to help people formulate a plan for theirself and their family. But there's wonderful resources online on the blue sky days when you have time to go on the computer. NC Ready and ready.gov are two fabulous websites that walk you through how to formulate a plan for yourself. So please take time to do that and talk to your family about what to do. And I just made a mess, but anyhow, my next thing about plan, and then I'll move right into my quick presentation about emergency management and what our role is in the community. Pitt County, thank you. We have HyperReach, and I'm gonna leave these cards on the stand there when I leave, but you can take a picture of the QR code and it'll let you sign up for HyperReach. And anytime the county or emergency management sends out information regarding weather or any other event that's going on in the county, any kind of emergency, we can craft messages for whatever situation that is going on at that time, and it will alert you on your cell phone every time and anytime we send out that information. There's no cost, and we're glad to do that. And we've had quite a few people sign up to be a part of that and get that information. Also, in addition to HyperReach, we are members of IPAWS, which is a national federal government system in our 911 center that we can target communities. If something's happening just in one area or one portion of the county, we can grab those phone numbers and send out messages based on that also, even if you're not a member of the HyperReach. But this is more of a tailored county message of something that we're planning or getting ready to do or we want everybody to know about. But anyhow, I was asked to come and just to kind of talk about emergency management and what we do here in the county and across the state and nation, what emergency managers do. But it is our responsibility to make sure that we're looking at hazardous situations or anything that might come up in the community, that we have to have a plan to assist others to be made whole again. And the biggest thing that we experience around here is in years past, and thankfully for the last several years, we have not had to deal with storms that impacted our area specifically, but we've had our fair share over the years. So we continue to take a look at all of our plans, our emergency operating plans. Each and every year we go through and make sure they're updated and ready and they still meet the needs. But the four main areas that emergency management kind of concentrates on is mitigation of situations that or hazards or vulnerabilities in the county, and we always try to have a plan for that. Preparedness, whether it be local trainings with our first responders or training in the community to make sure that we're prepared for whatever type of emergency that may arise. Recovery is another big thing that we handle through our office and through our Pitt County Planning Office, and partnering with the state to make sure that there's an economic recovery and debris management system plan, housing and health, where we can make sure that people are reconnected after an event to be made whole again or come back as best we can. And also have a response through our first responders, make sure we have a plan that our first responders work with us to make sure that we can handle whatever crisis or mass casualty event that may happen. So those are the four main focus areas that we have in our office. Now, in the Pitt County, every county's emergency management department is set up fairly similarly, but everyone is kind of different. And in Pitt County, our office, we have emergency management and handle the planning of whatever situation may come. And then we have the 911 communications within our department, and we handle EMS for all of the county with the exception of Greenville City. But when they busy out or they don't have enough resources to handle that volume, we backfill that. The county is responsible for EMS service in every county by general statute, and we do that. Then we also have the fire marshal's office, which comes around and does inspections also in your municipality for fire inspections, or if you're having some type of construction of a new commercial building or whatever, he would come up and ensure that their safety plan or their fire suppression systems are in order. And we work with your local fire chief. Another big piece of emergency management is we don't have a lot of people in our department, but we're the conduit between municipalities and people out in the county with the state. So if there's things that we need, other resources, equipment, someone mentioned lighting earlier for an event. If there was a situation where we needed portable lighting, if we don't have enough locally here, we would send a message to the state and say, hey, we need some more lighting, and then we would coordinate with other counties across the state to bring in resources, whether it be lighting or message boards for special events or some type of emergency. But in the time of bad weather, we ask for resources such as high water vehicles, swiftwater rescue teams. We don't have those things here in Pitt County, but when we see something on the radar coming, or if we receive information that we need to plan for such an event, we reach out through the state and ask for the resources either across the state, or either we have mutual aid agreements through the state with other states that can send stuff in. So that's another big role of the Emergency Management Office is we may not have all the things here, but we can request it through the state and the federal government to make sure that we have what we need in a time of emergency. And then we work through our planning office, and then after any kind of special, a big event that may have done damage, we work with our planning office to make sure that we can mitigate whatever recovery system we need to make sure to make everybody back whole. And if there's a lot of debris or something, we have debris contracts through our solid waste department that has people lined up to come in and remove the debris after a big event. And the biggest piece of all of this is record keeping. We must keep very good records to make sure that we can recover and recuperate any and all costs that would arise out of an event. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what emergency management does. And we stay busy doing all those things each and every day, making sure that we're right and ready for whatever may pop up, whether it be a vehicle accident that has hazardous materials, that a truck going down the road, he's got something carrying something that's placard that it's designated as a hazardous material. We have to have plans and resources in which to make sure we can handle those things. And another thing that I was asked to make sure I at least touch on is your train crap that comes through town. What if and what happens? Well, it similarly, it can be like a tractor trailer hauling some type of hazardous material. So you imagine a train has got multiple commodities on that train. You don't know until you see the little square, it's a triangle on the side of the train car that's got numbers on it. And we look that up and we can determine what that chemical is and what the mitigation is for that cleanup. But if you were to have such an event anywhere near Bethel or in Bethel, fortunately, across the state are positioned fire departments that are specially trained in hazardous material. And we're very fortunate to have the one in the east is located in Williamston, North Carolina, which is just a few miles down the road. And it's designated as RRT, Regional Response Team. And it's made up primarily of firefighters from across eastern North Carolina, but there's a small team that's housed in Williamston. But if they receive a call of a hazardous call, a material spill or just a question, there's a handful in Williamston that get in the trucks that's fully equipped with everything they need to be mobilized in just a matter of minutes and start heading to wherever that problem is. And then there's members across eastern North Carolina. There's several that are firefighters in Greenville and New Bern, I know of specifically in Washington, that when they get that call, the guys from Williamston are headed wherever they need to go, and these other departments that have team members, they respond and meet. And so in just a short order, they can have a full team of several people that are trained and professional in the hazardous material world. And they have all the equipment they need to get to the scene, identify, and contain. And that's their mission, is to get there and identify and contain whatever that material is. And then in a train derailment especially, you're involving state and federal partners from the very beginning, and the local emergency management would be charged with coordinating, making sure they were making sure that they were contacted and they were responding, and then coordinating all of that. And should there ever be a need through weather events or hazardous material events that a shelter would need to be opened, the county is responsible for opening those shelters, and we have plans all across the county that we can open depending on where the event is and what the safe space is. We can identify a pre-planned location to open a shelter to be staffed by American Red Cross as well as some county employees to make sure that we can meet the needs of whatever that situation is. So all those plans are on the shelf, ready, and we do pull them down on a regular basis to review them, make sure they're all updated, make changes where we need to, where new resources are built, and we identify that it's a better location than what we previously identified. We make that change. So that's in a nutshell, that's what we do. I hope I answered some questions. If you have questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And if you think of one after I leave, by all means, call our office or go on our webpage and just look for all kinds of information, and we'll be glad to do that.
Okay, are there any question from the board for Mr. Gentry?
Are we still considered storm ready by the state?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain what that means?
I didn't bring that slide, but anyhow, in a nutshell, and I can't get down into details. Storm ready means we've met all the benchmarks by having the proper plans in place, and we do the exercises in which every year, for us to qualify for any kind of grant opportunity, we have to either do tabletops or live exercises to make sure that we know we can do what our plans say we can do, and make sure that all of our partners are at that same level also.
Any other questions? Okay. Mr. Gentry, would you repeat your phone number again where the public can get in contact with you?
252-902-3950 is our main office number, and it'll prompt you around the emergency management. I think it's prompt number 3. But anything that I mentioned that our office does, that prompt will get you to wherever you need to go. And we love questions and we love visitors, so feel free to come by or call us, and we'll be glad to help you with your plan. Be sure to make a plan.
All right, thank you, sir.
Rescue, are they prepared, do they go through training, getting preparation for these kind of events that take place since we in the middle?
All of our first responders, fire included, we have ongoing training all the time. And for our EMS, we do practice mass casualty training to where if you have a large-scale event where several are injured, then our EMS can respond, and they've been trained on how to process large numbers of people. But speaking of training, I will say this, just because I'm so excited about it. One budget year ago for the county, we were given dollars to start our own EMS training division within our EMS section at the county. And all Pitt County has a unique EMS system where we have county EMS trucks and we have contracted squad trucks. And then there's the city of Greenville. Now, all of the county trucks look like the county truck because we own them all. But through this training center that we've spun up a year ago, all of the EMS training, and it's continuing ed training. We don't compete with community colleges. We don't do initial certifications. But our mission is we want EMS providers, when they come to your homes or businesses or on the side of the highway, we want them all trained identically and to be up to date on whatever that training need is. So our training center, even though it's paid for the county employee EMS people, any and all certified EMS providers in Pitt County can come to that training at no cost. So has the opportunity to get the same training to stay current and up to date on all paramedic and EMT type delivery. So I'm really excited about that.
All right. Are there any other questions for Mr. Gentry?
Just one more. My apologies. Can you
Could-
repeat your number one more time?
Yes, ma'am. 252-902-3950.
Thank you.
The coordination between, Chief Lilly and your group, that's instantaneously, or they gotta go and get with the group in Wilmington first?
No. Well, everything kind of, for the most part, starts in our 911 center because, if something happens, people's calling 911, and so it kind of starts there. But because Chief Lilly is our fire chief in the Bethel Fire Department, we have instant radio communication with him at any and all times, and anything he needs or we need of him is pretty seamless. So there's no delay, or he doesn't have to call a certain person first. He just notifies our 911 center, and then he can get pretty much anything he asks for. And one of our EM staff is always on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether it's me or somebody else. But somebody's always available to any and all fire chiefs. And in most municipalities, they designate an emergency manager, and when they do not, it defaults to the local fire chief. So he's your emergency manager for the town of Bethel. But anything he needs from me and us, we're right there to help make sure he has what he needs.
Randy, can you quickly clarify, if a municipality wants state resources, they can't call the state, correctly? They gotta go.
No. That's another, one of the great duties of the Emergency Management Office in each county in North Carolina. Any municipality, to include the city of Greenville, if they need a resource from the state or the federal government, it comes to my office and we put in the request. Some cities, because of their size and other duties, they do have visibility of that dashboard, but they can't enter anything in as a request. Now, I will mention, there are things going on at the state right now that may change some of that, but as of this moment in time, until there is a change, all requests for additional resources outside of the town must come through emergency management. And then we put that request in, and the state fulfills it, and then we coordinate it with the municipality, whatever their request is, on how to get it and for how long.
All right. And if there's no other question, thank you, Mr. Gentry.
Mr. Gentry, could you let one of those cards go this way? Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna leave these on the stand here.
All right. At this time, I will ask the board if they would consider the adoption of the proclamation that's been prepared.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I need to excuse myself. We've had 42 hours of training the last 2 weeks, and tonight is test night. I got to be over there at 7 o'clock to test. So I need to leave. Do I need to?
You're fine. He may be back if he gets done quickly.
Just one little thing, so we have a quorum, we still have three. If Mr. Lilly endorses this idea, if y'all vote to excuse him, then there's not an automatic vote of yes. If he were to leave without that vote, then anything that comes with a vote would be a yes vote. If you want everything to be yes, then that would be fine. If not, the board would need to vote to excuse you.
Okay, can I have a motion to excuse?
Well, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Lilly, if we want to do it that way.
Yes, sir,
Make a motion to excuse Mr. Lilly.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Jones to excuse Commissioner Lilly. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Conger. All in favor by raising your right hand. Okay, motion carried. You excused. Hey, you better pass that test too. Okay. Okay, at this time, can I have ask the board to consider the adoption of the proclamation that's been prepared for Mr. Kenny Brown? Do I have,
So moved.
okay, motion made by Commissioner Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Conger. All in favor,
Mr.
raise your right hand.
May I say, would you just mention just briefly what it's about?
We're gonna present it.
We will.
We're gonna do that.
We're gonna do that. Okay, all in favor by raising your right hand? Okay, motion carried. Okay, at this time, we have a proclamation that's been prepared to recognize a volunteer efforts. That's Mr. Kenny Brown of Bethel. And I think majority of you in here know Mr. Kenny Brown. And he, for some reason, he's not here today, but we're gonna ask his sister Elaine to come forward. What's her name? Elaine Palmer to come forward at this time. You got your paper? It's right up here. It's fine. Oh, okay. Now, I hope some of your family members got the cameras out.
On the side, and we'll take a picture first, and we'll read the proclamation.
Hey, you can come up close and hang out with me. I know some of y'all got Android, some of you got iPhone. We're gonna see which one took the best picture.
Very good.
We're gonna have our manager do the reading tonight.
All right, this is entitled Proclamation for Kenny Brown by the Town of Bethel. Proclamation of Appreciation and Recognition. Whereas, the Town of Bethel is blessed with a citizen whose dedication and selfish service has strengthened and uplifted our community. And whereas Mr. Kenny Brown has demonstrated outstanding commitment, hard work, and diligence through his sanitation efforts that contribute daily to the cleanliness and beauty of the Town of Bethel. And whereas Mr. Brown faithfully goes above and beyond his duties by ensuring the town's trash cans are pulled out for collection, helping residents and serving the community with consistency and care. Whereas following town events and gatherings, Mr. Brown willingly and selfishly cleans and restores public areas without being asked or prompted, displaying remarkable initiative, pride, and devotion to the community. And whereas his efforts have not gone unnoticed, and his servant's heart, work ethic, and dedication set a positive example for all citizens of Bethel. And whereas the Town of Bethel desires to publicly recognize and honor Mr. Kenny Brown for his unwavering commitment to maintaining a clean, welcoming, and beautiful town for all residents and visitors. Now therefore be proclaimed that the Town of Bethel, North Carolina, does hereby express sincere gratitude and appreciation to Kenny Brown for his exceptional service, hard work, and dedication.
and he is very excited to add Pitt County to this list of murals. He will, hopefully by next week, we will know his proposed timeline during the summer, but we are hoping a summer implementation of the mural. And he has also submitted a general concept with 2 variations of the mural, which was submitted to the town. And these are what we will be doing. The next steps will be working with Max on offering ways to tweak this design to make it fit what is best for the town of Bethel. So we are very excited to be the public art administrator for this project. And another huge plus about this is that the town of Bethel has received a municipal grant from Invest Greenville and Pitt County of $20,000. And then the Pitt County Arts Council has also, will also be granting $4,000 to this project. So we just really thank you for your partnership and want to open it up for questions.
Can you briefly just describe the 2 concepts?
Yes, sure.
The 2 pictures on the screen up
I
here.
know you guys are
Plus
very
the board
excited.
has
Here
a
we
copy.
go. And so, you know, I think what's really amazing about these artists is they listened so much to the town engagement meeting, and so one thing that we talked about, the theme was having a connection to the past of Bethel, but also looking forward to the future. And so what he talked about is that he was touched by the stories he heard in Bethel and how everyone cares for each other, particularly evident in the stories about the community garden. The garden, agriculture, and plants in general feature heavily in the designs, but also with an eye toward the future. The cultivation of a garden necessitates planning ahead and thinking about the future. They say the truly selfless act is to plant a tree that you will never be able to sit beneath its shade. I believe the people of Bethel are doing that with the creation of the pit stop, a lasting legacy that will live on in its positive ripples for generations to come. And so this is one variation. I don't know if we can, yep. And this was actually his first option, but what we really were impressed with Max is that he said he could blend the 2 of these together and work with our Bethel mural subcommittee to make that happen. And there's a reference to a lot of the things that we talked about on April 10th.
Can you talk about how both options will wrap inside the building?
And if you go back to that other image, if you see on the left and the right where it sort of goes outside of those borders, one thing, the day we were out at the pit stop, Max asked if he could wrap around the building to around the edges. And our staff, our Arts Council staff, we were really impressed with that because I think it, you know, as you're going down the street or up the street, you will see it going around. And so, and a lot of his mural examples have that where it's not just a rectangle, but continues around. Okay.
Did you discuss next steps in terms of the final?
Yep, so the next steps, well, tonight we're going to talk about the contract for the municipal grant and the grassroots grant so we can get the funding in place where it needs to be. And then Max will be meeting with my staff hopefully by next week. He's doing another mural project this week, I think in Fayetteville. And he will give us a timeline. The wonderful thing about Max is He said it will take 4 to 6 days, which is very quick. And also, he is completely self-contained. So the things we think about are cleanup, storage, all of that. And he has a system in place where he is completely self-sufficient. So we will be planning that. We will also make sure we update the commissioners with the actual final design, but it will be very similar to a combination of these two designs. And, you know, so we want to make sure that we continually update you on that process. And we're hopeful that our goal is to have this completed in August, before the end of August. And that just has to do with Max's schedule.
Okay, are there any questions from the board for Ms. Garrett?
Just like the idea.
So Mayor, we have two items associated with this. One is with the $20,000 we received from the Invest Greenville, formerly the Greenville ENC Alliance. One would be a mural administration and implementation agreement with the merge to administrate that $20,000. So you have that before you. There was no match required on this. The second document is the Grassroots Arts Program subcontract, of which the Arts Council has provided the town $4,000 additional funding toward expenses on this project. The Grassroots does talk about the grantee must match this grant according to the revised project budget, but there's no match.
And it can be matched with administrative cost, in-kind cost as well.
How much would that, is it dollar for dollar match? Or?
Yes, you're right. Actually, the 20,000 does match it.
Okay, all right.
Yes, more than matches it. Thanks, Kelsey.
Okay,
Cool, thank you.
all right. Are there any other questions for Ms. Garrett? If not, do I have a motion to approve the agreement for the mural administration and implementation, as well as the Grassroots Arts Program sub-grant contract for 2025-2026?
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Conger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. Are there any further discussion? All in favor, by raising your right hand? Okay. Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you so much for your engagement to the commissioners and the community. And this hopefully will be the first of many murals and public art that comes to Bethel. So thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll let the manager continue on from there in our old business.
Okay, item number 2 under old business is consideration of professional services agreement with Rivers and Associates. This is a follow-up to your stormwater workshop held on May the 12th, of which you selected alternative number 4, which was one of 4 alternatives to address the canal project that we've been working on for the past 12 months. The total identified potential cost is $220,397.12, not including easement acquisition. Rivers and Associates has submitted a proposed agreement contract for $110,000 for costs associated with conducting this project. So you have that before you tonight. And in order for them to move forward, for the town to move forward on this, we would need approval of that agreement.
Okay. You've heard the recommendation given by the manager. Do I have a motion to approve? To approve the contract amendment number 2 with Rivers and Associates.
So moved.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Or is there any discussion? All in favor by raising your right hand? Okay. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next to claim our attention will be new business. Are we gonna let the manager continue where he is?
All right, so as we continue with our CDBG&R project, Community Development Block Grant, Neighborhood Revitalization, our consultant, Ben Jones, has submitted 12 different documents that need the board's approval for us to move forward. These are required by HUD, Housing and Urban Development on the federal level. These are as follows. These are the Equal Employment Procurement Plan, Fair Housing Plan, Section 3 Plan, Section 504 Grievance Procedure, a Language Access Plan, Anti-Displacement Relocation Plan, Citizen Participation Plan, Excessive Force Policy, Program Policies, Code of Conduct, Grant Project Ordinance, and an Optional Coverage Relocation Plan. So when we are audited by the Department of Commerce, by the state, as they administrate these federal funds, they will have to assure that we have all these plans in place and to be used when and as needed for the project. So if we were to get additional CDBG dollar monies, if we apply again this fall for an additional round, these would be all in place and we wouldn't have to do this again.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation of the manager.
There was one correction that Commissioner Jones pointed out on the Section 3 plan, had a reference to Sampson County. We've corrected that and put Pitt in there as the Pitt Employment Security Commission.
Okay, do we have a motion
So moved.
to adopt all 12 of these CDBG dash NR programs? We got a motion made by Commissioner Conger.
Second.
Second, do I have a second? Second by Commissioner, Mayor Pro Tem Griggs.
Yes.
Are there any questions?
I did have one, I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
know you asked me about it earlier, but when I was looking back, for instance, and this is in reference to that local jobs initiative, Section 3 plan. And it talks about, it talks about contracting with local contractors and buying from local vendors. Is that part of anything that we have to ensure?
So Ben Jones will make an effort to ensure that if there are local contractors that he can employ to work on the project, he would give them, I don't know if I would use the word preference, but would give them an opportunity to bid on it. And if their bids were in line with, as a qualified bidder, we would want to encourage that so that local businesses could have an opportunity to benefit from the work.
Okay. That's Mr. Jones's responsibility?
Yes, sir, as our administrator.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question? Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor by raising your right hand? Okay. Any opposed? Motion carried, unanimous. All right. Next claim our attention is consideration of the planning board member applicants.
So the town has advertised for the formation of a planning board, and we ran this through May the 18th. You have 13 different individuals who have applied to be considered as part of the planning board. The planning board is reconstituted by you by amending Chapter 151 of the Code of Ordinances. It would be a 5-member board plus 2 ETJ, that's extraterritorial jurisdiction members. You have one person who has identified, who has applied as an ETJ possible person. It's been suggested the board might want to consider delaying this until your August 4th meeting when the full board is in attendance.
I agree. Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion to delay this to our August board meeting?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Conger. Can I have a second?
A second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. All in favor by raising your right hand? Okay, motion carried unanimous.
All right, next you have, under budget financial matters, you have 3 budget amendments, 19, 20, and 21. Number 19 appropriates the $24,000 for the Pit Stop project, $20,000 from Invest Greenville, $4,000 from the Emerge Gallery and Art Center. Budget number 20 moves monies within the fire department to adjust a couple of their line items. It's $9,000 in total, but it's all within that budget. It's no additional appropriation to the fire department budget. Budget amendment number 21, and it's appropriation of $25,525.36. When we started the Smith Street project, we actually were coding the expenditures toward the SCIF grant, or the RTG grant, and we should have had those be expended out of the general fund, because we're actually spending capital dollars. So it's needed a budget amendment to correct that, so we have the appropriate money to pay all the Smith Street improvements. So if we can get a
Okay,
motion.
can we have you heard the recommendation of the manager there. Do I have a motion to approve the budget amendment number 19?
You can do them all three together if you
Okay.
want. But
We'll do all three together. Budget amendment number 19, budget amendment number 20, and budget amendment number 21. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that.
Motion made by Commissioner Jones. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. All in favor by raising your right hand. Any further discussion? If no further discussion, any opposed? Motion carried. All right.
one other related item I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, as when you're approving the agenda, is a change order on the town hall project. When we started the project, there was a bathroom back there originally back from the 1930s or 40s, whenever that was built. Had water, sewer, but through time, the sewer connection and the water connection have not been used probably in decades. So we've actually had, Unshakable Builders has had to run a new water line, run a sewer line going out to, what is this? Railroad, thank you, Railroad Street. But change order of $5,500. There are not available funds in the SCIF budget, but we do have $12,500 left in the contingency for the board. So I'd recommending approve the change order using the contingency funds.
Okay, you heard the recommendation from the manager of using the contingency funds. Do I have a motion that that he be allowed to use the contingency funds?
So moved.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Conger. All in favor by raising your right hand? Okay, all right. Any question, discussion? Okay, any opposed? Motion carried unanimous. Okay, next to claim our attention there will be our budget and financial matters.
Actually, number 4.
Okay, the proposed internet and phone and service provider switch over.
So on this item, the town uses Optimum for phone and internet services at Town Hall. We use, we also have cable service over at the Senior Center for cable TV. We have a very antiquated phone system, is probably the best way to say it, over 20 years old. It's definitely on its last leg. The bigger part of this proposed switchover is to switch from Optimum to Conterra. Conterra is a business-only internet provider. There are several businesses in town that have already switched to them. Rook Insurance is one of them. Their actual equipment is on site off of Washington Street behind is that a Methodist church right here? Behind the Methodist church. So they actually have equipment in town. We would be switching to a dedicated 300 Mbps going up and down. One of the issues we've had at Town Hall is during the summer on the Optimum network, we're competing. Optimum is both a residential and a non-residential network. So if the residential side is, if a bunch of people are gaming using the service, it interrupts our feed, and the camera back here that's on YouTube that's broadcasting this meeting right now can be dropped if there's not correct bandwidth. And we've had that happen on a couple occasions, especially in the middle of a very, I don't want you to say controversial topic, but a topic of great interest. And some people might think, oh, we're just switching the switch off because we don't want people to hear what's going on with the meeting. It also prevents us from having a recording of the meeting as well. So this will solve that problem by having a dedicated internet with Conterra. It will solve the problem. The phone lines will be what is called a VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. So we'll have handsets, just like we have now, but actually all of the calls are in the cloud per se. And if you know what that technology means, I can't explain it, but it's in the cloud. It's digital per se. So we would be switching over Town Hall, the fire department, the senior center. Senior center right now has, like I mentioned before, we're paying $127 a month for cable TV service. I don't know why, but we'll be able to eliminate that because we can use a Roku stick and get get signal over the Wi-Fi signal and eliminate that cost. The cost differential between the two is negligible, so I recommend to allow us to switch.
Okay. Do we have can I have a motion to transition the internet and phone services from Optima to Conterra Network?
So moved.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Conger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor by letting it be known by a voting sign. Okay, any opposed? Motion carried. Next claim my attention will be the change. The budget.
Yeah, the strategic plan.
Okay.
All right, so this was an item we added to the agenda. It's the Strategic Economic Development Plan. This is being proposed by the North Carolina Department of Commerce. They came in and met with the mayor, myself, and I believe Mayor Pro Tem Griggs last week. It's being put on by the North Carolina Main Street and Rural Planning Center. They are proposing that the town consider developing a strategic plan to kind of look at where we want to go. What does Bethel want to look like? You know, I'm not sure of the time frame yet, whether it's 5 years or 10 years down the line. But if we don't have a plan where we want to be, we're not going to have anything to aim for as we go down the line. The state is offering to do this. There's no cost to the town. We would have a local planning group that would work with the Department of Commerce to develop this. They're asking us to, I was going to bring this in August, but they're really wanting to do this, and they're proposing to wrap this up by the end of the calendar year. They would like us to consider adopting this resolution for the program. Basically, it says, the Town Commission for the Town of Bethel intends to develop an asset-based strategic economic development plan for the town. Let me try to get one of these. For the town to identify opportunities, provide a framework on which to build and grow the local economy. The North Carolina Main Street and Rural Planning Center's Rural Planning Program, i.e. the Department of Commerce, provides the strategic economic development planning service to rural communities in North Carolina. The town would like the program to assist the town on this project. The town and the program have reached an agreement on the scope of work for the project as outlined in the attached MOU. And basically, the MOU has a scope of work just basically saying that we will do a guided tour with a representative from the Department of Commerce. We've already put that on the books. The community assessment by the program staff would be conducted. A strategic economic development plan would be developed, and then we would have that in place. And as we go along in this plan, this will come back before the board for updates. You would have the final say at the end to have input into the plan and to adopt the plan. So I apologize having to walk this on, but I really didn't want to wait till August because we don't meet in July. So if the board is willing to consider this, it really doesn't commit, all it commits the town to is participating in developing the plan. There's no cost to us in developing it other than staff time, board time, if the mayor pro tem or any other board members, whoever wanted to participate on the planning team. It can't hurt.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation by the manager. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
A motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Griggs. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second made by Commissioner Conger. Is there any discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor, let it be known by your voting sign. Okay. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Now we get to the budget. Okay, so you gonna skip?
We did this.
Okay. Next, to claim our attention is our departmental reports. We're gonna stay right here with our interim manager.
Okay, your first report is your monthly public safety report. This is through the month of April. And on there, you can see you had little activity under violent crime. You did have one assault. Under property crimes, again, little activity. You did have one burglary. And the common calls, traffic complaints, none. Traffic stops, 9. Business checks, 292. Sex offender check, 15. Welfare check, 5. Alarms, 4. Warrant service, 2. And ride-bys, 33. This is just information. The second item is your financial report for the month of April ending April 30th, which we are 10 months into the year, which would be 83.33% of the year. You can see that our revenues are in at 57% so far. Again, you might say, well, if we're 83% through the year, why are revenues only in at 57%? Primarily because sales tax monies lag, as Beverly Stroud explained in your last meeting. On the expense side, we are at 55%. And a good portion of that is because we actually have the fire truck budgeted in this year's budget, but that $500,000 fire truck, which we won't spend until next year. So we actually have budgeted for that in next year's budget, so that fire truck monies will fall back to fund balance this year. So we're actually in good shape. So if we can get a motion to approve on the cash balance report, the other page of this, you have got a total cash balance of $3,274,023.06, of which in the Southern Bank checking account, $218,637.50, and within the North Carolina Cash Management Trust, $3,055,385.56.
Okay, you have heard the financial report there. Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
So move on that.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Jones. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Conger. Any discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor, let it be known by your voting sign. Okay, any opposed? Motion carried. Next,
Otherwise, on my report, I've got next board meeting date of August 4th, no meeting in July. I did have on here about the fireworks, but Mr. Brown preempted me on that, and again, fireworks on July the 2nd. Encourage the town to come out.
okay,
That's all I have.
all right, since our fire chief not here, we're gonna stay right there with the manager. Do we have anything from Public Works?
None other than I mentioned, Smith Street trail paving begins Monday, June the 8th. The Bethel welcome signs as you come into town, I've noticed, need some cleanup. We've directed Public Works to clean those up, maybe growth or weeds, whatever it is, around them. So you should see a cleanup on those. That's all I have.
Okay, all right. And since the fire chief's not here, we have no report from the fire department tonight. We'll go to our great town attorney, Mr. Ken Lassiter.
You're very kind. Need to put you on my PR team, Mayor. This might be the last time you have to hear from me on this particular subject. I've reported to you over the last few months regarding the family that wanted to donate 3 tracts of land adjacent to the Smith Street Park. I had prepared the gift deed, sent it to them, and between your last meeting, I got back the last signature. So you have before you in your agenda packet the gift deed signed by the owners, and it's ready to be recorded. Technically, we could record it, and that signifies acceptance, but since this is a gift deed, I thought it might be nice to bring back to you, see if you had any questions of me, and if not, if you would motion to accept the deed and, I guess, instruct me to record it with the Register of Deeds office.
Okay, you've heard our town attorney the information he's just given us. Do I have a motion to accept, the Moore Arrows deed for a donation of tax parcels 3393-7 and parcel 15318 and parcel 15320?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Conger. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor, let it be known by a voting sign. Okay, any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Okay.
Would you like me Scott, would you like me to start with the other matter? I think it's got you and me on it, but I'll be glad to
Yeah,
start if you.
I'll defer to you. That's
All right. You also might recall last month, after a few back and forths and re-advertisements on these two tracts of land that the town owns, after a recommendation by the town manager, and I think maybe interim town manager, possibly me too, that we thought that the best thing to do was to end going through the upset bid process and start an auction, the statutory auction, public auction process. So what I have brought to you tonight would be the resolution to initiate that process. And just very, very briefly, upon the adoption of the resolution, we'll run we'll publish in the newspaper a notice of sale. Has to run one time at least 30 days prior to the sale. We're looking at setting a sale date of August the 4th, actually at your August meeting. So that'd be, I think, probably the first order of business. We'll get together and like we had a public hearing this month. We would have an auction and auction these two tracts of land off. Once the high bid is received, the board has 30 days within which to accept that bid. So you would be right here. If you wanted to accept it, you could accept it at the August meeting, but you would have 30 days to consider it. And the resolution requires that the closing on the sale take place within 45 days of the bid. So we just sort of stopped the old process and started the new process to be a one-time sale, an auction, and we should at the end of that be at the place where you could look to close and sell the property.
And just to remind the board, we were being, what's the word? The amount of expense we were having to put out to keep advertising the upset bid process, we're getting to the point where we were gonna have more expense in advertising than we would even get from the revenue of selling the two parcels. I know one of the bidders was not happy that we ended the process, but we just couldn't justify, because we didn't know when it would end. It just keeps going back and forth.
It could have ostensibly gone on for months and months. So I agree. I think that was the wiser thing to do. I've done over the years many sales through the upset bid process, and I usually see one. I don't know if I've ever seen a second. This was an unusual circumstance. It was nothing we could predict on the front end. It just, once we got into it, we sort of saw where we were. But I think the town, if it has not already, will contact both of these two bidders and make sure they're aware. We'll have to run the notice in the paper, but we'll directly call them and let them know that the auction will be at your August meeting.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation from our town attorney. Do I have a motion to adopt the resolution and notice regarding the auction process of tax parcel 9216 and 29694?
So moved.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Greaves. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Is there any discussion? If there's no further discussion, all in favor, let it be known by a voting sign. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Commissioner Conley, you have anything?
No, I'm just happy to see everybody here tonight.
Mayor Pro Tem Greaves?
No, I just glad to see everybody here and continue coming, so you know what's going on in your town.
Commissioner Jones?
I can concur with those comments. Good to see y'all.
Once again, I'd like to say thank each and every one of you for coming out And I know we had a little lengthy meeting this time, but it's well worth for what we're doing here. And we just ask you to continue to support this board and support your town. And I would ask that as you see your neighbors or what, when they're out, they're cutting the grass or they're raking up the straw, the leaves, we ask them not to cut it, to blow the grass in the gutters. Because right now, we're still working on trying to get everything cleaned out and stuff. And we definitely need your help to keep the grass and any other stuff that might go into the drain, keep it out of the drains so we can get get the water flowing in Bethel like it should be flowing. And if there's nothing else, once again, I'd like to say thank each and every one of you for coming. If there's nothing else to claim our attention, do I have?
Can we just make that correction? He said 29694, because that's what's on the paper. It should be 29604.
Okay, we got a correction here. As far as the real property auction process, there's a correction on one of the parcel numbers. It's 2969.
29604 versus
29604 versus 29694. Okay, all right. So at this time, do I have a motion to adjourn?
You did. No, I'm sorry.
No, can I have a motion to make for this correction here? You have to have a motion.
You don't need to.
No,
It was,
To let it be noted.
I think if the board instructs the clerk, she'll make the change in the minutes.
Okay,
mine is showing 29604.
right. But the correct number should, okay, the one I got says 29694, but the correct number is
Mine,
29604.
The information in your agenda abstract is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Griggs, Mayor Pro Temp Griggs. At this time, we are now adjourned. Do I have a second?
Second, I'm sorry.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Thank y'all for coming. Good to see my neighbor. All right.
Look. Hey, let's see. Pardon me? Yes.
If you see my clerk right there, she'll give you an application. Yep. Hey, tell Elaine not to leave yet with that. Tell her not to leave just yet. I don't know.